Hi and welcome to another video on the Alpina. Had some post come. Not sure what that is. New inlet manifold. I've gone for a aftermarket part. We'll see how this goes. You can get quite a few, there's quite a few on eBay for about 110, 120 pounds. But a lot of the companies were registered in China, and although they said that they were being sent from the UK, I wasn't really sure. So I've gone in the middle ground. This is from a company that's based in London, D2P Auto Parts, and it's even branded with their own, I don't know if you can see that, markings there. So I'm going to fit this. It's got the swell flaps on it. You can see them there. Then I've also been waiting for a couple of boost converters, and there's also a diverter valve. So I'm hoping this is one of them. So it's got a part number on there, which actually corresponds to the BMW part number, and I think 831, I'm pretty sure from memory that is the diverter valve. So that is one of the three valves that I'll be replacing, which control, is basically part of the vacuum hoses that go down to the turbo and the actuators. So I'm still waiting for two more items. I just need to double check what this actually is. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is take this panel off, so we've got access all the way under. Obviously that's the manifold, goes all the way under. So we've got to take these off, this side, and the panel there for the pollen filter, and then it's only a couple of bolts and that whole panel comes off and gives us access all the way to the back. As you can see now, this is all clear. We can move this out of the way, but we've got full access now. Obviously take this cover off here, and there's full access right to the back of the engine there now. So there's the swell flap actuator, which seems to be okay, but I don't know if you can see that. That is definitely not okay. That's where I'm getting the boost leak from. Some time later now, but it looks like the other parts have arrived.
interesting.
Right, so got the same part numbers, which is the BMW part number, and these should be the boost converter valves. So there's two of those. Get those fitted. Right, so the manifold is free. I managed to do it without removing those cables, although I had to just loosen them out of the cable box, whatever you call it. It was really stuck on. There's a couple of things I noticed. One, when these are resting down, they sometimes the thread just catches again, so you have to just make sure that you can move them. And the other problem was that this, which is actually the feed from the EGR back into the manifold, was stuck in the hole down there. And so what I did, I just used the strut brace and just levered it just very gently under here and from here, and then eventually it just popped off. So obviously the main removal I did was on time lapse, but if you want a detailed video on removing the manifold or replacing the manifold, then check out George Auster's channel. He does a lot of good content on the N47 amongst other BMWs, and yeah, that will give you the full details on how to remove it. Here they are, side by side. So you can see here's the new one, and there's no movement on there. I've got a few things to swap over. The pipe that goes back into the manifold, which is the from the EGR, and this bracket needs to go on here as well. And there's probably, is there anything else? I don't think so. But if we look at this, it's definitely not right. And actually, it's moving the whole way. In fact, yeah, that's not how it should be. Although it's not actually too mucky in there. So get those things swapped over, and then we can get it back on the car, and also get these on there as well. There it is, all reassembled with the actuator for the stall flaps on there as well. So I've got everything on. Just want to give this clean up. There's a lot of oil down there from where it was blowing out. Just give the edges a clean up. That's the glow plugs, and then start getting it all back together. All in. I'm just trying to check if the pipe down there is seated, which it seems to be. I need to do all those up. I put this on before putting the manifold back on, because it's just a lot easier getting to the bolts underneath. Obviously I just need to plug that in. A lot of cables to go in, and there's also some cables down the back that need clipping back on. But reassembly starts. Everything's gone back into place. The only issue I've had so far is this bracket that attaches here, here, and onto there. The holes for the original screws, they don't go in, so I'm just going to have to drill them out a bit. Right, so we fitted the manifold, and the next is to delve down the back there and do the boost valves, but that's for the next video. So glad we've got that done. At least that's all clean now. See you in the next one.